stuff and Trump and so forth. What's really going on here, as I'm sure most of you have figured out, is an ongoing effort here to discredit Trump as saying things that aren't true or exaggerating wildly. It's an effort. They would consider it an opportunity to destroy Trump's credibility with you. Now, the thing that they don't get, the thing they don't realize, they do not yet understand why those of you who support Trump do so. And as such, they think that they can take Trump out the way they take out other candidates. But that's not going to work. In fact, go back and grab audio soundbite, I think it's number 2. A Republican strategist by the name of Mercedes, I'm having to find the bottom of the stack. That's right, Mercedes Schlapp was on Fox News Channel's Gretchen Carlson show yesterday afternoon. This is what she said.
I think we need to understand the Trump voter. When I was listening to Rush Limbaugh a couple of weeks ago, it was very clear. A Trump voter called in and said, I don't care what Donald Trump says. I'm going to support him anyways. I want things to get done. And that is the sentiment of the Trump voter. The question will be, can he expand his coalition based on his different comments that he's made? That's going to be his biggest challenge. And quite frankly, we might not have an answer until March 15th.
She's a Republican establishment. She decided to tune in here to find out what people think about Trump. Very, very smart woman. The rest of the Republican consultant class ought to try it. And what she learned was none of this stuff matters, what Trump says. That's not why he has support. It's what they think he's going to do. And it's why he's going to do it that they support. The Trump voter thinks all this that's going on now is just the usual campaign falderall, and it's the usual media treatment that's designed to destroy any and all Republicans. Right now, Trump's in the crosshairs. If they were to get Trump, they would next go after Cruz, and Republican voters know this. So Trump comes out and says, tens of thousands of people, Muslims celebrating 9/11. The media goes to their archives. They can't find any evidence that it happened because they didn't report it. Except there's a bunch of evidence. There are media reports. They just chose to ignore them. But they come back and say, well, there's no news here. We didn't cover it, so it didn't happen. Brilliant technique. But as far as Trump voters are concerned, it doesn't matter. There was Muslim celebration. They saw it. Other people that they trust saw it. Whether it was tens of thousands or tens of hundreds, it doesn't matter. Trump is right about what he's saying in terms that they believe. The media can't take Trump out the way they take out traditional candidates because the media has not made Trump. What the media doesn't make, they can't destroy. There are exceptions to everything. But the point is, if you allow the media to make you, then you are forever their prisoner. They can destroy you at the same time. But in Trump's case, they can't. So they're reduced to other manners or other areas of criticism. And here's the latest. This is what they're saying about Trump. They say that Trump has this circle of belief, this loop of belief. And that's where he gets his reality. And here's how it works. Trump will go on Twitter or Facebook and he will see somebody say, tens of thousands of Muslims celebrated 9/11. Trump said, well, I saw it on Twitter. I saw it on Facebook. So he goes and says it. And then the media questions him. What do you mean tens of thousands? Trump says, I saw it. I saw it. What he means, he saw it on Twitter. He saw it on Facebook. This is what the media is figuring out. So now they're criticizing Trump for believing everything he sees, and what has ended up being created is this loopy loop of Trump and his supporters saying outrageously crazy things that cannot be verified, but that they all believe. And it's this circle of loopy belief, or whatever it is they're calling it, that ends up becoming Trump's reality. So that's the next way they're trying to destroy Trump. Missing all the while why it is that Trump resonates with the people who support him. They refuse to get it. They refuse to even try to understand it. It involves outsiderism versus insiderism. But what's really going on here is if the media can't destroy somebody, then they're really, really threatened. And they have to double down on taking them out. Because the media is not about media, and it's not about news. It's about bending and shaping opinion, making opinion, shaping the outcome of events, not reporting events, but shaping the outcome. And those things they can't control panic them. And it makes them double down on their efforts to try to control those things they can't control. And one of those things they can't control is Trump. And I got to tell you, when Trump goes wherever it was this weekend, Sarasota, Tampa, wherever he was, that there were lines 5 blocks long outside to get in, that just ticks them off like you can't believe. So they report on the 5 or 10 protesters that were outside. But the average Trump voter is sophisticated enough to understand what's going on here. And as the drive-bys ignore media reports that did happen on 9/11, that did report some celebrating, and did support some partying and so forth. The drive-bys just ignore all of that, including their own reporting, and then they try to say, well, that's so long ago, and it may not really have been accurate at the time, and so they refuse to rely on it, because the narrative is what counts. And the narrative is that Trump lies and makes things up, or worse, Trump just is ignorant and doesn't know and will believe anything anybody tells him, and then he'll combine that with his own racism and prejudice and roll on down the highway with it, and to them that equals mass danger that they have to stop. But they can't. And the realization that they can't stop it is what causes them to double down on their efforts to separate you from your support for Trump. And what they don't get is that all they're doing is solidifying the support. They're not talking anybody out of it. Got to take a break. Be back after this. Don't go away.